Day news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Remember guys to like, share, comment and follow, and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our new uploads that we do upload on this channel each and every day, each and every hour. Today is the 9th of June 2022, and so guys, Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube said all is well in Zimbabwe and dismissed claims that the Southern African country is in the throes of an economic crisis. Speaking in an off-the-cut interview with Newsday after a post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, Ncube effectively declared that Zimbabwe was not facing an economic crisis. What crisis? We are performing well. We've put measures in place to fight inflation. People should not panic. Everything is in order. Zvinhu, zvese, zvakarongeka. All is well, Ncube said. Analysts contacted by Newsday quickly shut down Ncube's statement, describing it as inconsistent with the prevailing situation characterized by everyday price hikes of basic goods and services, while the local currency continues on a free fall. Some businesses are rejecting the local currency, preferring the US dollar to hedge against a repeat of the 2008 disaster when the country docked a global record-breaking hyperinflation rate of 500 billion %, which drove many businesses into bankruptcy. The country's year-on-year inflation is now ranked as one of the highest in the world, alongside war-torn countries such as Syria, after it shot to 131% in May, up from 96% recorded in April. Last year, Syria's inflation stood at 150%. International inflation trackers, however, believe Zimbabwe's official 131 inflation rate is understated, placing it at 256% instead. The undrilled inflation has prompted many to urge government to re-dollarize the economy to save itself from further embarrassment as the Zimbabwe dollar continues to be mauled by inflation. But Ncube insisted there was no reverting back to dollarization, saying the country will face a crisis of unimaginable proportions and cash shortage if it returns to the 2009 dollarization scenario. We have embraced the US dollar, but we have also embraced our own currency, the Zim dollar, so there is no rejection of the US dollar. So this is what will happen on a day one. If you adopt the US dollar as your currency, something very nasty will happen. Ncube said you wipe out the entire banking sector because you have to convert the Zim dollar balances into US dollars. The banks will have a negative balance. You will have a crisis, a cash crisis, because you cannot print US dollars, he explained. He added, the advantages of having domestic currency circulating along the US dollar is that we have been able to manage the cash shortage situation, which we have been through before. The economy, especially the manufacturing sector, will immediately lose its competitiveness against foreign products. We will then have to do away with the monetary policy. You cannot have a country that has no monetary policy but also has a fiscal policy. Ncube stands will, however, do little to those growing calls for the country to abandon the local currency, with workers in the private and public sectors demanding salaries in US dollars to make ends meet. Analysts said Ncube was out of touch with reality. It is said that Zimbabweans are waking up to an increase in prices of basic commodities every day, but the finance minister insists that everything is fine. They are using taxpayers' money to finance their lifestyles and they do not know the struggles of ordinary people. Analyst Farai Gonure said. Educators Union of Zimbabwe Secretary General Tapedza Joe advised Ncube to resign over his failed economic policies. The most vulnerable thing that a minister does is to resign and accept that his economic theories have failed the whole nation. Teachers included that it is not a crime, but this is different from a minister who has been reporting things like a surplus in a country where teachers earn 5 times below the poverty data line. It is not a secret the finance minister has failed to address the welfare of civil servants, hence should simply step down and stop losing sleep, Joe said. Kilmo Musawano, a vendor in Granite industrial area in Harare, said it doesn't need a professor to see that our economy is in shambles. We are now pegging our stock in US dollars because our local currency keeps on losing values. And so guys, that's the latest here. As much as Mthuli Ncube is saying that there's no crisis in Zimbabwe, and so it seems like one plan. It seems like one plan and it is. But I do agree with him also saying that we need a local currency so that cash shortages imari isazonetsa kutenderera mumastreets because takati madomasi in US dollar, takati dzungu in US dollar zvonetsa because hatiprinte kama-user acho saka local currency yagara iri right kuitira kuti although inenge ichiluza value but inenge yakawanda, which means kuti unenge utofamba utone bag kana unotenga kana uchichingwa kana kuti chichimwe. So we are going backwards in short. So we hope that the minister will come up with other plans or other policies. I mean, he's a professor, so he needs to come up with something. And because but by the time Patasuka December, I saw the rating gap mari. And if they don't solve this issue as quick as possible, at the same time, they need to address my teachers. I think we've been talking about this each and every day here, that my civil servants ishoma because inflation is low, and so the moment you go increase the marriage my civil servants, it's a circle situation that has been happening for so long. But maripa dzinokwira dzema civil servants rate never yakwira zvakare mastreets, especially if the money inenge increaswa iri in bond. And saka motonemega kutoti apamvana kutotwa so achangoramba tingori panzvimbo 1. And so Mthuli Ncube the man is out of reality. Yes, I mean he stays in Bordeaux, he goes to Switzerland. Anega life kari bo ngamboto one day kuti arimborarawo kana kumbare kana kuti umfako soko omanyasona kutambura kuruta vanhu. I mean, for you, you know, there's crisis in Zimbabwe which the government needs to look into. And so guys, this is daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Mthuli Ncube TV. We're gonna keep on following this development, and as long as our leaders are in denial, as long as they want to please their bosses kuti arikuita basa komana kuita basa amrugona komana my yes men achangoramba tingoti pama1, especially us the poor, because this tinenge chichaafectwa zvikuru neinflation yacho. This again take chance iwo mabonda acho, because those government institutions kuma passport uko vakutoda mauser every kuzimuseka oda mauser, saka hurumende pacho zvayo akukuramba mabond, saka vada kuti susu tishandise mabonda acho avari kuramba, saka votonemeka kutoti amahwanja ichayo. And so we're gonna keep you guys in the loop regarding to any new development. But Mthuli Ncube is saying kuti there's no crisis in Zimbabwe, everything in bo zvakarongeka. And I don't know if you guys can agree with me in the comment section. This is a daily news, a breaking news, everyday news on Prince Mthuli Ncube TV. Remember to like, share, comment, and follow. Let's up.